Mute. We are live. I'm Annette Latigue. I am your host here at Coaching You For You. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to have you here. Take a seat, come on in, and let's chat for a bit. We're expecting one other guest this evening, and I assure you that tonight is going to be interesting, and you'll get to hear 7 different perspectives about our topic: what's happening in the single world. There are so many great people out here. I want you to know that you can see us on Facebook, you can see us on YouTube, and wherever podcasts are. Jump in and join us. Feel free to add questions to the screen, and if we have the opportunity, we will answer them. And tonight, I'd like to introduce my guests, starting with Janine LaRue. Janine, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I guess most people would call me an old fart. I am 72 years old as of last week, and I'm excited about that. I am a mother of 2 biological children. I actually raised 6 children, and then I raised an additional 2 grandchildren, which has taught me more about life than I ever learned in college and in my professional capacity. Um, I have been married twice. I don't call them failed marriages. I call them lessons that I learned over a period of about 20 years to 2 men, 2 different men. And I have been in a relationship with a woman for 22 years, and she died about 19 months ago of pancreatic cancer. So that pretty much sums up who I am. I'm a lobbyist. I do a lot of things statewide and some speaking nationally, and I'm just enjoying life.
That's a great place to be. Very good place to be. Paula, you're muted.
I am. Excuse
There
me.
you go.
So I am Paula Jones. I am a mother of 4, and I'm divorced and about to be getting married very soon again.
Oh, nice.
So excited about that. It's all a new thing for me. So I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you this evening.
Thank
Very
you.
happy to have you.
Thank
Sharon,
Good evening, everyone. What was that? Did y'all hear that?
that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm Sharon, the mother of 8 biological children, 10 grandchildren, and I am single. Originally from Trenton, New Jersey, living in Savannah, Georgia for the past 20 years. Um, I'm still working, and a Facebook content creator. And that pretty much sums it up. I'm living life as well. I love it.
Terry,
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, well, of course, I'm Terry. I'm 66 years of age. I'm retired 9 months now, so I'm new at this. I have 2 wonderful daughters and 2 wonderful son-in-laws. I live in sunny central North Carolina, where it's always nice and hot. I have traveled the country, so I know I've been in your state because I was a transportation technician. My word of just saying truck driver. But I've been single for a long period of time now, and I'm just living life. My children told me, because they're both doing well, that Pops, everything you earn, go ahead and enjoy it. You don't have to worry about leaving us because you prepared our way. So here I am. That's me.
all right, Tona. Thank you, Terry.
Hello. My name is Tona Buck, and I introduce myself like this at all times. Hello, my name is Tona Buck, and I'm a sexual abuse survivor. I'm an advocate, and I am a motivational speaker. I am a mother. I have, let's see, I'm an educator. Um, I do a plethora of things. A podcaster. I I do a plethora. I do a lot of good, great, fun things. But one of the things that I am excited about is about being on this episode tonight. I'm also an author, and I'm an author of a book called "Liberated: How and Why Women Cheat." So this dialogue should be very good for me. I have been in 3 relationships over 30 years. I was married for over 20 to my best friend. So my best friend got a new wife. I love him. Listen, I love my ex man, but I am excited about this conversation coming from an author who wrote a book about why women cheat.
I'm excited. I'd like to hear this myself. I'm Annette, and I'm your host here at Coaching You For You. And I'm really excited to have you guys here tonight because it's a great topic. It's always good to talk about who we are and where we are. I am a single woman, and I look at being single as a part of my life. It's not all of my life. There's so much more to my life. And I'm excited about the life I'm living. I'm retired a year, and I'm the host, and I'm just really happy to be here. And I'm excited to hear from you guys about where you are and what you think about being single. For me, single is just simply a part of who I am. There's so much more to me. And the lucky person that gets a chance to know me will find that out. So let's roll, y'all. What is single life like for you?
I love it. I love it. I think I remember getting out my last relationship again, 30 years, 33 men. And I remember getting out my last relationship. I had like friends praying for me, a husband. I'm like, can you please not? I don't need a husband. I'm sorry. I contribute to the relationship field for a long time. I learned to learn me. I learned to love me. I learned to appreciate me. I learned to be okay with me being by myself. I also was a teenage mother. So from the time I was 18, I had a responsibility. I went from literally the 3 relationships. I went from 1, 2, 3. So for 30 years of my life, I had children and a man. I love it. I love traveling. I think for me in that is that it's the reason why. And I have to say this, and I'm not saying this because I'm conceited. I'm saying this because I know who I am. I know I'm pretty. I know I'm smart. I know that every time I meet a guy, they say, you will be, an asset to me. I know. I know I would. I don't want to be. And so when I hear women, and I feel really sad when I hear women say that they need or men, that they need someone to complete them. No, I needed to complete myself first. And let somebody come into my life whenever they come. I'm not, if the right person just happened to come in my life, I'm all for it. But what I am not doing is looking. I love traveling and doing things just with me. And I don't know if people get that, but this piece and this level of love is just something that I had never experienced in my life. And so I'm glad that I got the opportunity to do Tona, not just the wonderful children, and not taking care of everybody all the time. I love it.
Thanks for sharing. Janine.
I guess it's kind of interesting because when you invited me onto the show, I never really looked at myself as being single. I mean, these categories of single, I look at some of the status reports on Facebook when people say, ask about their status, they'll say it's complicated, or they'll say married, or they'll say divorce, and I call myself just Janine. And I guess, it's kind of fascinating. Maybe after this show, I'll kind of view it a little differently. But when I walk into a room, I don't walk into a room as a single woman. And as I said, the last relationship I was in for 22 years was with a woman. I don't walk into a room looking at women or men in a way that, oh, I'm single. I walk in a room bringing myself into the room, and whatever happens in that room, I receive it. So single to me just means, I don't know, I guess I feel the same single as I did married. I just feel as an individual where I'm always happy to be on the wake up list and happy to enjoy the company that I'm in. You know,
Okay.
this is single Janine sitting here in a show right now. You know, I don't feel single. I just feel that I am.
Okay. Hey, Josh, welcome aboard.
Hey, boss. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Hi, doing great.
So, Josh, we're talking about what it's like to be single, when you were single, and what's the difference now if you're in a relationship.
Absolutely. So back when I was single, I was definitely more focused on myself. So as uh, Miss Janine said, you're not really noticing the fact that you are single because it's just you're just living life, as everyone has said, has echoed those sentiments, which I agree. You know, you're just focused on yourself. You know, you're on your purpose, as Tona was saying. So there's a lot of great things from being single, but again, as everyone else also said, when you're able to join with someone who's, you know, on your level mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you know, physically, all those things, and everything's aligned, then it's a much higher probability to have a great relationship where you have that balance of support but also independence, which I guess everyone's trying to allude to.
And that's important. And I think it's good for our audience to hear some of this because oftentimes being single is misunderstood. And when we transition from single to a great relationship as you have, Josh, it's important to share your experience, strength, and hope in that. Come on, Sharon.
Yeah, for me, um, pretty much what everyone else said. Uh, Single is just what it is, single. And for me, I was a teen mom and I had children back to back to back for many years. And so I took care of the children, I took care of my husband, I took care of everybody. And once we got divorced, I got into a relationship, and took care of him, took care of the children. And so finally, when I got to a place where I was single, I learned who I was. I learned why I felt such a need to take care of everyone else instead of taking care of myself. So at this point, I've learned more about myself in these past 5 years than I have known in my 60 years of life. And I'm okay with me, and I'm okay being single. And I feel now that I'm almost, not quite, almost ready to be in a relationship with someone that, like Josh said, we meet each other on every level. You know what I mean? We don't have to be exactly the same. We just have to understand the same things. You understand what I want, I understand what you want and need, and we provide that for one another. It's not me taking care of you, me trying to make sure you're okay. You know what I mean? And just me over here dealing with whatever. So I've dealt with a lot of tragic situations, and still growing through those situations. So being single gives me time to grieve. You know what I mean? Because it's difficult to grieve when you have people depending on you. And so, because some people think it's just, oh, go sit in the corner and cry. It's not. It's not. You're learning to live with that hole in your heart, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So at this point, it's like, I'm growing up for the most part. It took me this long to grow up, and I always would say, I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. In actuality, I was just of adult age. My mind was not grown at all. So, yeah, and then what happens is that Like I said, learning myself, I'm talking about even the small things, like foods I don't like, never liked, but would dibble and dabble because everybody else was eating it. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't eat it. I don't like that place. I don't go. I don't fit in. I don't try to fit in because I used to. I used to, and I don't do that anymore. I don't fake like people. If I like you, I really like you. If I don't like you, I really don't like you. There's no in between. You know. So I don't know. Like I said, it has its ups and downs, but for the most part, overall, it's really good for me. It's really good. It's a really good lesson. That's pretty much it.
I really appreciate you sharing that because one of the things I learned in my single life was how to be with me.
Hmm.
That's one of the most important things that I learned. I also learned because I'd always been married, I'd also always lived with my parents, I always lived with my husband, I always lived with somebody, my kids. And one of the things I learned in my single life was how to be with Annette, how to be with Annette, how to appreciate Annette, how to live and enjoy life. I also learned, and this was the most important lesson for me, that other people can bring happiness, but they can't make me happy. If I'm not happy, it might last for a minute, that happiness, but eventually it will fade
Hmm.
because I first have to be happy with me. And in building and finding good relationships, that's what matters first. Come on, Terry, bring it.
Oh, excuse me, Terry, your mic is muted.
Now, okay, are we here? Do I hear y'all? Can I hear y'all?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, being single. Okay, well, I'm a senior, 66, and I'm a truck driver, so I don't rode the country. I've been all over America. Single, guys, it's like you said, it's good and it's bad. On the holidays, is it could be sad times, especially when the wrong music is on the radio. But single to me is like I wake up in the morning, I say, because I'm retired now, and I can do that. I can say, I think I want to go to South Beach for the week. Okay, I don't have to ask nobody to get ready to pack up and come along, and I can go. And now, especially with the times, it's kind of a lot cheaper to be single. I mean, but it got it ups and downs, and I am on the search for, as they say, that soulmate, as like we all has always been doing, and seem like the more we search, with like me, the more I search, the more I have to search. But life still brings so much joy because, like I say, I can go to bed when I wanna, eat what I wanna, shop where I wanna, buy what I wanna, and still hopefully one day I walk in the grocery store and there she is. So single's okay. It's all right
Oh,
right now. I'm
okay.
gonna live with it.
All right. Come on, Paula. Thank you.
Well, first, I wanted to say to me, dating, being single, I think a lot of times, I know for me personally, um, dating was a little difficult because a lot of people don't understand what dating is. And it's a time of collecting data, and most times people don't know how to date. They don't know that when you go out, you start asking questions. Do you want to have children? What do you think about money? If we have children, are we going to have a joint account, or are we going to have a separate account? And they don't collect data. They go straight to intimate. sexual things, and they don't enjoy each other, and they don't get to know, movies or dinner at McDonald's or Friendlies, or
I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm not going to McDonald's.
no, but like uh pizza or Chinese. Now,
Yeah.
do you want to go camping or do you want to go to the beach? They don't find out, like the things that they don't collect that type of data. They want to go straight to the other thing, and then they don't know the person. It takes time, and that's what was different about this gentleman for me. I didn't mind being single, like the gentleman said about, when holidays come, I would think about, like, dag, I wish I had somebody to go home with, or I wouldn't mind waking up with somebody. But I know for me, I'm a wife. I don't want to be somebody's girlfriend. So
Okay.
dating for me was a much more serious task. Little fun too, but I had the intention for me is to ultimately to be the wife. It's not to just keep dating and dating different people and going out and spending time with them for nothing. That wasn't my personal choice. So that was, where I am now, being 54. I'm like, no, listen, I'm not going to wait till I get 54 and want to be somebody's girlfriend. That's not where I am. So, and that's all, no disrespect to anyone else, but for me, I was looking for collecting data that was relevant for my life right now, and then to be what I want for somebody else, and to realize that nobody's perfect, including me. So that perfect list that everybody's going to check off, that man is going to, everything that I have on my list. There's some non-negotiables, but that list it has to be realistic, and it needs to start with the person in the mirror. Before I go looking anywhere else, it has to start with who I am, for me.
So I'm totally
That's good
different. You
stuff.
hear me? I'm going. I'm sorry, she's still talking. I'm going
Tona,
in.
there's something going on with your mic.
Some going on with my whole connection. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
See, I'm different. I just want friends with benefits. I'm just being honest. I don't. So single to me is that I still don't. If I choose to wake up by myself, I do. If I don't have to. When I'm ready to go out on a date, there are people that I can go out on a date with. If I don't want to. So no, I was wife material for 20 years, and I love that because so many women should be. I'm just not one of them. And I don't desire to be one of them right now. And I don't know when I'm a desire to be one of them. Like I said, if somebody just happened to come along that's the right person, I'm assuming, I'm like, yeah. But no, I just like having friends with benefits. And I don't know if people understand what
Okay.
that means.
Okay.
I can explain what it means, but that's where at this age I like this is where I like being.
Okay. Relationships are challenging. They can be challenging, first with yourself, if you don't know who you are. That's number one. And number two is, anytime we deal with somebody else, it brings a whole new level of different things. And so I'm going to shoot back to Janine and ask, what do you want in your next relationship?
That's a really great question. First of all, I want somebody who is very well. The first thing I am going to say, I mean, I've struggled with this for about, as you know, Annette, 50 some years. I've struggled with my sexual, whether you want to call it orientation or preference, because for so many people in our community, and when I say our community, I think the Black community is probably one of the most homophobic communities on the face of the planet. To
We're
follow
so
it, number
fortunate.
two, the Latino, but Hispanics, but Black people are, and that's why I love my pastor, Charles Boyer. He keeps it real, and he is one of the biggest encouragers for me that I have ever seen. So I do now. I can actually say, and I've had some guys since Maria passed away approach me, And it's a compliment, you know, it's 70 some years old, and knowing that I am a lesbian, that guys will say, you know, I really would like to take you out. I've had some guys actually say, which I think is hilarious. Um, so for me, mute my mic, Josh. No.
Oh no, that was for Miss Tona.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry. And I've had some guys actually say, and this is something for another show, you know, I've had a guy say to me, you know, Janine, I could actually turn you. Well, you know, that's the first comment that turns me off, because it doesn't just, to me, it's not just symbolic of sexual preference or orientation. It is the thing that not just men, but there are women who feel as though they can remake individuals, whether it's in that area of sexual preference or orientation, whether it's how you dress. As most people know, I've been Afrocentric now. I'm 72, since my daughter will be 52 years old this year. And I have been Afrocentric since she was one. She doesn't even remember me with straight hair. I used to wear the big afro, Angela Davis afro for years. And then when it got different, I used to wear the Nefertiti haircut. And then I used to wear the shag, and now I wear a mohawk. So I have worn natural hairstyles for the last 50 some years. And one of the things that I'm looking for in the next person, and to answer your question, and in my world, most of the people, as you know, Annette, I deal with are, I call the wonderful people and the beautiful people. So the white folks are wonderful people. My black brothers and sisters are the beautiful people. Most of the people I deal with are the wonderful people. My preference is to be with a black woman. It just is. And I have had that conversation with a lot of my white female friends who are lesbians. And it's because, you know, I'm really, I used to be a choir director. I want somebody I can sit down and we put on Kirk Franklin or whatever and get with it, you know, where we just understand each other. Some of the craziness that we say at family reunions, I don't want people looking at me like, what's she talking about? You know, I mean, they're just things that we do that are just, and I want somebody who's Afrocentric. You know, I don't want to explain to people what mudcloth is and kente and all. I want them to know what it is.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm looking for in the next partner. And the other thing I have come to grips with the fact, and I appreciate everybody for where they are, but the person I'm going to be with, they're going to be Christian. Then I don't want to hear about the atheist. I don't want to hear about agnostic. You know, we go through all of this craziness. No, if you're a Christian and you believe in the hereafter, and you can deal with the types of things that I believe are important in the scripture, then we can sit down and have a conversation. But as soon as people tell me, well, you know, Janine, I'm agnostic, we can be colleagues and associates. We can never, ever be in a relationship.
Thank you for sharing. That's important. Hey, listen, I want to tell my audience, to each his reach. What doesn't apply, let it fly. Janine, I admire and respect you. And I hope that you'll find everything that you're looking for.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. Because so often we judge people based on what we believe. And if we knew God, we'd understand He loves all of us. There
Amen.
is no picking and choosing. It is us
Right.
who do the picking and choosing.
That's right.
And that's where the misunderstanding comes in at. Okay, Terry, come on, bring it.
So, what's the question on that?
What do you want in your next relationship?
Oh, what do I want? See, you have to forgive me, you all. I have what they call sometimers, and I get distracted. But what I want in my next relationship? Well, right now at this stage in life, I'm 66 again. Now, I keep going back there for some reason, but I'm a very active person. I get up in the morning at 5:30. I go run, maybe 2, 3 miles in the morning. I might go to swimming. I go cycling because I know I'm at the
At
age now that
5:30 in the morning? Who does
yes,
that?
At 5:30 in the morning, I go to where I live in this area where they have a college campus, and around the campus is what we call the Duke Wall, and people, a lot of doctors and professors and students and stuff get out, and I know you guys know that people go running at 5:30 in the morning, and I get back for breakfast. But what I want in my next relationship, I want a lady because I know health is so important now, and to God be the glory, I'm healthy. And I want somebody who's healthy. I want somebody, if we go to Paris, we'll be able to climb up the tower. Okay. I want somebody which I won't go climb them high mountains because I'm not there. I'm a country guy, but I'm not going to climb nobody's mountain. But I would like to have that lady to be physically able, and I'm about eating good and living good, and I want her to be the same way. And I am on that stage in life now to where, okay, this is you set, okay, unless you go back to work. I'm not doing that. So I want her to be able to bring the same amount of food to the table as me. Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's not too much to ask, is it?
That's not too much to ask. And I appreciate you sharing that. What I want you guys to know is wanting what you bring to the table is normal. That's normal. It's okay. And it's okay to want that. The most important thing that I want the audience to take away from this, and as I share it with you, you won't see it on Facebook, but you'll see thousands of views after. And you'll see engagements. That's where people actually listen and they hear. And what I want folks to know is this: people have a right to be where they are and to plan for where they want to be. That's your right. And everybody has that right, whether you're single or in a committed relationship. Paula, quickly, what do you want in the relationship you have?
So I want, he is a lover of God. He has a relationship with God. So that was very important for me, for him to be a Christian, for us to be able to fellowship together, for us to be able to pray together. It was for him to have good health and to be respectful, to have integrity, to have be a man of good courage, of good character,
Yes.
and to be healthy mentally. I needed him to be healthy mentally. I have 4 daughters. I have 2 grandchildren. I have 2 grandsons. I needed him to be healthy so that he could be around my children. I didn't have to worry about him touching them. I needed him not have a filthy mouth. I don't like profanity. I don't like that kind of talk around my daughters. I don't like it towards me. So that was, all of that was important for me. And he is just strike the bar.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank
Josh.
Well, I guess for me, it would be the space and freedom to be Josh. And boss knows that I speak in the third person sometimes. I'm an only child. It's kind of how my my mindset is. So it's not that I'm trying to be disrespectful or anything. It's just being authentic. And when you have someone who understands that about you and also shares that trait, because my girlfriend Chloe is also an only child, and
Shout
we
out
both,
to Chloe.
who's also in the comments as well. So thank you, Chloe. And there are times where we're totally being only children brat, but we understand, so we're able to regulate respectfully, right? That's all. Things like that. Just having that that understanding, that and that inner knowing of what's going on intuitively is a lot better that way, in my personal opinion.
And I want to shout out Chloe because Josh and I have worked together for years, and I know that she's a pretty special lady. I know that. And I know that because I know him. Come on, Sharon. Unmute.
Oh, okay. Am I unmuted? Okay.
Yes.
So for me, I want all the things that, as far as, that we meet on the same level. I want to be able to just always be myself. I don't want to have to put on airs. I don't want to have to, oh, well, you got to do this. Because I'm not cut out like that. If you know me, you know me. I'm always the same. I'm
Yep.
always the same, and I'm always me.
Yep.
I don't jump on bandwagons. I don't care how many of y'all do it. I ain't doing it. And I want to have that where we can be friends. You know what I mean? And not always have that expectation wall up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be you, allow me to just be me, and we just love each other. You know what I mean? Because you know how I am. I'm humorous. I like you
Yeah.
to have a good sense of humor, and to piggyback on what Paula said, be healthy mentally. You know what I mean? Because, I watch a lot of crime stories. And I don't want to wind up cut up in the freezer. And I don't want the way out is for me to go out in a pine box. Like, I need you to be okay up here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can go to sleep if we had a disagreement. You know what I mean? I ain't got to worry about sleeping with one eye open and a knife next to me, because it's a reality. You used to think that it only happened with certain people. It happens with everybody now. Like, death is the new divorce. Like,
Unfortunately,
I don't
yes.
want to turn up dead. My kids need me. I don't want to turn up dead. But for the most part, that's it. That we can just sit down and talk about anything. Don't feel like anything is off limits. You know what I mean? I don't care if you want to sit and talk about the squirrels that run across the fence outside. Let's have that conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Just somebody that I can be me, you can be you. Of course, we're going to make sure that, we financially and blah, 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 all that good stuff. But,
Right.
Yeah, mentally and physically healthy. I'm pretty healthy. But let me say this one thing. Today, speaking of health, so today I'm thinking something's wrong with the phone at work. Because every time I pick it up, it's like, y'all sound like y'all underwater. So I went to physical therapy and I came back. And so I had something in my right hand, so I picked the phone up with the other hand. I'm like, I can hear perfectly. It's your ear. It's not the phone. It's got something going on in here. So tomorrow when I get to work, I'll have my doctor look at it. But I can't really hear out this ear over here. That's all I have.
At least you know that. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for a guy who's mentally stable, who knows who he is, what he is, where he's been, where he's going, and what he wants. And he's of good character. That's it.
Yep.
Be of good character. And so, quickly, because we have a minute and a half, give me a deal breaker, just one. Sharon, I'm going to start with you. Deal breaker for dating.
A deal breaker for dating for me is to go straight in sexually. When you just go in as your first train of thought is sex, straight up deal breaker.
Okay. Come
Yeah.
on, Tona. Deal breaker. Unmute yourself. She got to put on her glasses because that's just who she is. Come on, beautiful. What's a deal breaker? I'll come back. Josh, deal breaker.
I would say a lack of reciprocity.
Cool. Yeah. 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 Fair exchange for me. Terry, deal breaker.
Not when meet the person, they're not who they appear to be on that picture.
You've been catfished.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Janine.
Dishonest.
Tona.
Dishonest about anything, about the work history,
Yeah.
their relationships, their name, how many kids they have, anything. Dishonesty, there's nothing they can do. And I tell people all the time, credibility is like virginity. Once you lose it, you never get it back.
That's right.
Never. Tona, deal breaker.
She says she can't hear.
Come back. Paula, deal
Deal breaker.
breaker.
Put your hands on me. If you put your hands on me, I that's it. I don't. No, I don't like that.
I think Tona is having some technical difficulties. Can you hear me, Tona? You can't
She's
hear?
saying she can't hear. I'm looking at the chat.
It's your Wi-Fi. Okay, she went back out. She'll come back in. Deal breaker for me, disloyalty. Any
Oh
way,
yes.
form, or fashion, bada boom, bada bang, you're gone. I think that that is so important. Final question. Would you date outside your race? Come on. Janine,
Yeah, I would date outside my race, but one person that I would like to spend the rest of my life with, however long or short it is, I really would like them to look like me.
thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Josh, no, because you have the perfect
Oh
person.
yeah. Oh yeah. So yes, I have, and since I was what, first grade, because I was in private school most of my life, so demographically we weren't always represented there. So it's just a numbers game at the end of the day.
Okay. Sharon,
Um, I love my black men, but I feel like if like I wouldn't go searching for someone out of my race. However, if someone out of my race would find me and we connected, then I'm not against it. But I love my black men.
thank you. Terry,
It's nothing a person of no color could interest me in. Okay, I love color and drop the mic on that one.
thank you. Paula,
Absolutely not. No.
thanks for sharing. Tona,
She got lost again.
We
Tona
could
got
take
lost
that as a
again.
no as well.
We- I think we can take that as a no. But I wanted Tona to wrap up with one statement about why women cheat. I wanted to hear that. So if she gets back on within the next minute, my name is Annette Latigue. I am your host here at Coaching You For You. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us. I'd like to thank my guests, Sharon, Terry, Paula, Josh, Janine, and Tona. Janine, can you tell us a little bit about your podcast quickly?
Quickly, it's just where I bring in folks who either professionals or people who have artistic talent, just folks, and it's called LaRulis Cafe, and the slogan is "Let's talk about it," and
I
we talk
love it.
about everything.
I love
So I
it.
watch
Josh?
you a lot, so I love this one. I love it.
Okay. Josh?
And for me, I've been transitioning from a content creator to a business consultant and helping other content creators and small business owners create passive income in their business because it'll free up a lot of time for them and they'll probably make more money than exchanging their time for money. So that's one of the things I'm very passionate about. I would say you could probably say I'm on a mission to inspire 1 billion people to create passive income with their passion, knowledge, and talents. So that's where my head is at.
Okay.
I like that. Sharon, you are now creating content for Facebook. And I want you guys to know that some of the stories that Sharon tells about what she does, we won't name anybody, is phenomenal. I'm telling you, sometimes I look at her, I listen to her, and I'm laughing. And that's what I want to do more of. And I hope you will too. And for those who have joined us tonight, I hope that you will. Sharon, what do you want to land with tonight? This is a question for everybody. So think about it. Sharon, what would you like to land with tonight? What do you want people to remember most about the content that you create?
For the most part, that um, it's like it's an outlet for me
Okay.
because I'm the only employee at my job. So I get all of these different scenarios from all these different walks of life. And it's just like, I can't hold all of this. I have
Funny.
to share this with somebody
It's funny.
because I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff. I'm not that good. So I just want to share with people. I want people to laugh. I want people to have fun. I don't want people to be bitter and always, having an attitude and nose turned up. Like, live, loosen up, laugh.
Hey, y'all. She said it. Laugh more. Tona Buck is having Wi-Fi difficulties, but I want you to know she has some phenomenal books. Um, Please Don't Touch, The Why Women Cheat. I'm going to have to bring her back on that because we're going to have to talk about that. I want to know what that's all about. Um, she has some experience, strength, and hope that I don't, but I want to hear what she has to say. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Terry, Sharon, Josh, Janine, Paula, and Tona. Thank you very much. We're here at Coaching You For You. See us on Facebook, like, subscribe, and hit the share button on YouTube. See us where podcasts are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chloe, thanks for sharing Josh with us tonight. Thank you all and have a good evening.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Peace.
Good
You
night.
all
What
have
do
a
you
good
want
evening.
to? Yes,
Nice to
Janine.
meet you all.
Thank you. Good night.
Good
This was
night.
great.
I
Good
loved
night.
it.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night. Good night, Terry.
Good
Good night,
night.
Sharon. Thank you.